All right, ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Welcome, 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 everyone, to the final battle for HSM's TOUGE Series 2.0. We have 8 drivers tonight, all competing for the title. I would say let's put a title here. Let's put a title of king or queen of Mount Akina here today. My name is Primer Ice T. I will be your commentator slash shoutcaster today as well. So thank you very much for coming by. So like I said, ladies and gentlemen, tonight's race, tonight's Toge race will be a very interesting one because it is very different from what we showed before this as well, where in the previous format every driver will be choosing their own cars for the final battle. But we decided, you know what, let's give it a bit of a twist. Let's give it a bit of a twist where if you can see my screen, if you can see the screen right now, you will notice there are a lot of AE86s. And that's because, ladies and gentlemen, for tonight, every driver, the 8 drivers that we have tonight, they all of them will be driving a Toyota Corolla AE86. Okay, and there's 2 versions for it. Okay, there's 2 versions. Both of them are from to drive. Do they want to choose the grippier tune A86, or they would like to choose a more loose version like the drift version of the A86? We won't know what are they choosing. I mean, definitely we will know their choices later during the race. We will start our race in 3 more minutes, and eight we have 8 drivers. Let me read out their names. We have Cameron, Omet, Brandon, Dens, Exodus, Lewis, Kenny, and Roy Tatu. All the 8 drivers from our round 1 and round 2 of HSM's TOGI Series 2.0. And today will be the deciding factor on who will get the crown or king or queen of Mount Akina for our HSM Toge Series 2.0. If you're watching this stream right now, please feel free to share. They both have the same grip. They do. Oh, okay. Thank you very much, Omet, for the update. So, Omet here. Omet, why are you here? Go back, drive, practice more. Why are you in the stream? But thank you very much, Omet, for coming by. Just joking, but thank you very much for coming by. So yes, guys, we have 8 drivers today. All will be driving the AE86s. Let's just see how will they cope, because this is actually a last minute decision as well. So it definitely caught the 8 drivers by surprise. So it will be a very interesting race. Hello, Flutters. Welcome to the stream. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to Handshake Sim Racing Malaysia's HSM Togi Series 2.0, where the drivers will be battling out in Mount Akina tonight. And this time, it's not going to be daytime, ladies and gentlemen. It is going to be nighttime. And not only that, it's going to be night and foggy as well. A mist as well. It's going to be misty as well. So it is going to pose a bit of a challenge to the drivers themselves. So how will they do it? We won't know. We won't know. But I am very excited, especially our first lineup. We have Cameron versus Omet. These 2 drivers, in my opinion, they are very good drivers. Cameron definitely has some pedigree of his own, joining Toyota EGR's Motorsports Championship last week, and did really well. And at the same time as well, Omet, which is not a local here, not from Malaysia, but actually from Egypt as well. Definitely a contender. She was our last Toge series winner in Batang Kali. So will she be able to defeat Cameron James, or will Cameron take the throne from her? We will never know. And again, ladies and gentlemen, since this is a Toge, the drivers will be racing with their rivals, a 1v1 style. It is a cat and mouse kind of style, cat and mouse kind of chase. So where each driver will be given a chance to be the leader and the chaser as well. And there will be 2 runs, and the winner is. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, I got news from our admin. The race is going to start, and if you're looking at my screen right now, Omet is starting. Omet is starting the race, leading the race, and we're gonna wait for the lights to turn green. Both of them are apparently looking like they're driving the black edition of the A86, and the lights turn green, and here we go. Omen is leading the first one as Cameron is chasing Omen. Will he be able to stick by her? And it's going to the first turn. Both of them are doing it very. Oh my gosh, Cameron just a bit on the guardrail there. He is really pushing the A86 to its limit there, and he's more slidey than usual. But then he was slidey in our first and second round, and he's definitely showing that style itself as well. But while Oman is keeping the sliding to a minimal, definitely helping her out as she is creating a gap between her and Cameron as they're approaching the second hairpin of the course as well. Brandon Chong, hello. Oh my gosh, and Omen turned off her light. Oh wait, did she turn back on? She turned off her lights. Omen is pulling a Takumi. Omen is pulling a Takumi move there. I'm not sure why she did so. Maybe to help her aerodynamically, maybe to throw Cameron James off. I don't know, but definitely Omen is pulling an initial D move by turning off her headlights as Cameron still trying to chase her. So far, Omen is creating a lead, but not that much. Oh, well, Omen has turned on her lights back up again, maybe just to make sure that she's going the right way as they're approaching one of the corners that a lot of drivers make a mistake. Will any of them make a mistake? No, both of them did not make any mistakes, but Cameron definitely did drifted a bit through that high-speed section. Omen turning off her light again, unsure why. Interesting. It is an interesting strategy by Omen. Not sure why. Maybe she wants to gain speed, or maybe she just wants to show that she can drive anywhere. She can drive with her lights closed. Well, who knows? But yes, Cameron is still trying to chase her. There is a considerable gap now. Omen doing the drift at that hairpin. Very nicely executed. Cameron followed as well as they're going through a quite a not so long straight into a hairpin after this. How will they fare? The car is a bit slippery. It is nighttime. It is misty. They won't be able to see much. How will they do? Will any of them make any more mistakes? So far, none of them are making any mistakes, which is very, very good. Omet taking the turn, doing a bit of a drift there. Cameron doing not so much of a drift there, but he's doing it very, very well. He's following his racing line there as well, making sure that he's taking every advantage that he can. No, okay, Cameron kind of went a bit off course there, and it's definitely hurting his rhythm because he hit the guardrail there again. Definitely, this will affect his chase with Omed. Definitely creating a much more lead, a much more gap between her and Cameron. Cameron is doing his best now, trying to regain back his time, getting back the gap, making the gap shorter again between him and Omed. But it seems that Omed is still building the gap between her and Cameron. So far, ladies and gentlemen, this is looking very good for Omed, and she is building quite a large lead between herself and Cameron. So, guys, comment who would you like to see win? Would you like to see Omed win, or would you like to see Cameron wins this round? So far, Omed is building quite a large gap, and she is running. She is still running. She's almost approaching the hairpin. She's almost approaching the hairpin while Cameron just entered the corner there as well. And Omen is taking the hairpin right now, and as she will be exiting. but Cameron is entering it as well. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we are almost at the end of the race. They are entering the third sector of the mount down. I don't know why I say downhill climb. It's just going downhill. But yes, Cameron is still trying his best to chase Omet, but Omet is still very comfortably in front, going with her own smooth pace. Will Cameron be able to catch up with her? Oh, Omet is already entering the second final corner, while Cameron right now is about to enter. As we can see here, Omet is still turning off her headlights. She is still turning off her headlights. Why? We don't know why. But definitely Omet has asserted her dominance as she crossed the finish line first. While Cameron is finishing his drive right now as well. Congratulations to both drivers. That was a very good first run, and we can clearly see here Cameron gets Omet gets the first win of the run. Now, the third the drivers will be swapping positions, where this time Cameron will be the lead while Omet will be the chaser. Now, as we can see here just now from the first round, Omet definitely built a very large gap between her and Cameron. Will Cameron be able to do that in this second run? Will this become a one more time and the lights turn green, and here we go? Cameron and Omet getting off the line. Omet is oh my gosh, Omet is turning off her lights again. Omet is turning off her lights again. She is going on. She is really showing her skills here. She's really showing what she's gonna be like. You know what? I can do this with my lights closed. And definitely, Omet is still sticking to Cameron. Cameron is trying his best now to run from Omet as much as he can, but it seems like Omet is still thinking herself up to Cameron. Now we can definitely see Omet from here right now, but in the game itself, the drivers, Cameron would not be able to see Omet, especially since the car is the black edition of the A86, which paired with the nighttime, definitely it will be hard for Cameron to notice. But Cameron does not have time to look at the rear view mirror to make sure Omet is there or not. He needs to focus on his own drive as he entered the gutter. Oh my gosh, Omet is doing the initial knee move. She's turning on her headlights and she overtakes Cameron, but no, Cameron is still holding on. Cameron is still holding on. Omet did not manage to overtake him, but that was a very beautiful overtaking attempt from Omet. And oh my gosh, I might, the initial defend by me went really high. That was an attempt of overtaking by Omet, but it is foiled by Cameron as they entered this corner. Will any of it seems that Cameron it seems that Cameron got into a lag and caused a bit of a collision, but it's okay. The race is still going on. They're still sticking to each other. Omet is still turning off her lights. Will she be? Oh no! Oh my gosh! Cameron is turning off his lights. Now I don't know which one is which. Now I don't know which one is which. Okay, I'm assuming that's Cameron. Okay, Cameron is still in front. He turned on his headlight back again. Not sure why he turned it off just now. Maybe he wants me to be confused. But definitely these two drivers are still doing it really well. Omet is still sticking to Cameron. Definitely showing a way better potential than the first round just now. She is still keeping herself glued to Cameron with the A86 as they're both entering the very high speed corner there. No mistakes, very clean driving to the hairpin. Will anything happen here? Man is taking over the inside, but taking a bit too much of the inside. Cameron is still holding on to it, and Omet definitely showing a bit more aggressiveness. I have never seen Omet being this aggressive in a TOUGE race before, but definitely tonight she is showing all her fangs out. Oh, that was a bit. I thought it was gonna be an accident, but no. As they're approaching the four consecutive hairpins, will anything happen here? No, man trying to take go on from the outside, but no, Cameron foiled her plan. keeping her not be able to overtaking him. Omen is tracking one inside. Cameron unable to defend. They're side by side. They're taking another happen. Both of them are turning hotlines. I'm not sure who's who, but I'm assuming it's still Cameron, still in front. There's two. Oh, my microphone is coming a bit. No, I almost speak slower, but yes. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Both of them. I. Okay, I'm assuming that's Cameron. I'm assuming it's Cameron. So far, Cameron is doing really well. They're doing really well. Okay, Omet is still sticking. Oh my gosh, guys, this is giving me goosebumps. How are they doing? How are they doing? Are they doing really, really well? I'm a bit unsure, but so far, Omet is still keeping up. Omet is still keeping up with Cameron. They're still doing well. She's still turning off her headlights. Will Omet be able to overtake Cameron? We are not so sure about that, guys. But let's see. So far, Omet is still doing a very good job. She's still doing really well. We're going to the straights here. Will Omet do a late braking and dive bomb Cameron here? No, but Cameron definitely won. Cameron oversteered too much there and has given the lead to Omet. As they're approaching the third sector, Omed running away with still her lights turned off, going into the second last hairpin, but Cameron getting left behind at the back. Oh my gosh, where we're going, we don't need headlights, definitely flutters. Definitely, Omed is implementing that mantra for herself really, really well. As she approaching the last corner, ladies and gentlemen, we have the first winner of the day. Omed winning, obviously winning the first bracket. Congratulations, Omed. Congratulations, Omed. But also, good job to Cameron as well. Both of them showed superb driving skills just now. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a clap. Let's give a clap for our drivers. There's the clapping button on my screen. Yeah, what a drive. What a drive by Cameron and Omed. And ladies and gentlemen, that is Omed winning the first quarter or first race of the night. Now, let's go to the second race tonight. We have Brandon Chong. We have Dens. Both of them are lining up onto the starting line right now. Oh, it seems that Brent, who's in the first one? Yeah, Ika? Okay, apparently it seems that Dance has chosen the drift version of the AE86, while Brandon, I can see probably the tuned version. I'm a bit unable to see, but let's see how. Oh, Exodus has not jalan yet. Now it is between Dance and Brandon as the light turns green, and here we go. Dance leading away from Brandon. Let's see how are they two doing. Entering the first corner, how will the cars be doing? They are doing it really, really well. They're keeping it very clean. Guys, this is literally the scene from Initial D right now. As we can see, the Initial D livery used by Brendan Chong here. Going into the second corner here. What the corner, my bad. Sorry. But yes, as you can see here, Dance is still keeping the lead, but Brandon is still keeping his eye close to Dance. Is he going to take the inside? No, it's not. There's no switchbacks. Let's Brandon know, like, no, you cannot overtake me here. I am going to block you. And so far, it is working for Dance. But if he wants to win, he needs to create a gap between himself and Brandon. And Dance definitely drifted a bit too much, kissing the grass outside just now. Brandon keeping a good distance, still keeping it close between himself and Ben, guys. Oh my gosh. We have good drivers tonight, guys. We have good drivers tonight. Ben's doing a bit of a drift there. But he understeered. He's still understeering. Brandon have the inside, but he did not do anything. I think I can see probably Brandon right now is trying to be playing really, really safe because there are repercussions if you do hit each other, guys. and definitely Brandon is doing the safe route here. He knows that he can keep close with himself and Dance. So he's not making not too much. Oh, Dance, what? Dance hold the drift. Dance hold the drift really, really well. I mean, that is the drift version of it. But yeah, Dance is doing really, really well, defending himself against Brandon. But yet, he has not yet created a gap between himself and Brandon if he wants to win this round. Brandon is keeping his line tidy, nice, because he knows that if he keeps drifting, it's going to compromise his time. But Dance is be like, you know what? Oh my gosh! Dance drifted too much, hit the guardrail, and gives Brandon the leeway. Brandon took the opportunity and is now running away with it, giving a chance for himself to win. Dance made a mistake there by drifting too much and hitting the guardrail. Oh, Brandon as well. He is entering the gutter. His speed is going to be affected, but will Dance be able to chase back Brandon? Oh, will Brandon be able to hold off Dance as much as he can? Wow, Dance is definitely understeering there a lot from his AE86. Brandon is creating a big gap between himself and Dance, as Dance is now trying his best to chase Brandon. Brandon is still running away in his Panda Trueno, while Dance still trying his best to chase as they are entering the 4 consecutive hairpin. Brandon has entered it. Will Dance be able to chase him? Then he's not drifting. I think he knew. I think he knows that if he keeps drifting, he's not going to be able to overtake him. So now he's trying to play it safe. But definitely the car is understeering. The car is understeering. Dance needs to make the car drift. The car is meant for drifting, not maybe track. I'm not sure about the settings here, but Dance is trying his best to chase, but he is suffering from a lot of understeer and oversteer on the understeer on the entry, but oversteer on the exit. Will Dance be able to catch up? Dance is still drifting. He kissed a bit of the guardrail there. He has to slow down. And it seems that Brandon is making his run as far away as he can from Dance. Oh my gosh, ladies and gentlemen, we in Toge racing, definitely if you're racing with someone else, the first thing that you're trying your best is to minimize mistakes. If you make a very big mistake or make too many mistakes, your opponent will definitely use that against you, and it can be seen here between Dance and Brandon as Dance got overtaken by Brandon during one of his drifting shenanigans. Whoa, no, oh my gosh. Oh, wait, Brandon got into an accident. Oh no, Brandon needs to straighten up his car back. His car is facing the wrong way. Whoa, Dance is catching up. All Dance needs to do now is to overtake. Oh my god, it's a close battle right now again, guys. It's a close battle now. Brandon made a mistake. Dance is right behind him. He needs to overtake him. If he wants to win this round. Dance has to do something right now. Will Dance be able to overtake him in this last corner? It seems unlikely as Brandon is finishing up the last corner there, going to the finish line. And Brandon went across the finish line first, and then there's Dance. Okay, now we shall wait for the admin to give the decision. Sorry, can you repeat that again? All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got news from the admin. Brandon wins the first run. Now, let's go to the second run, where this time Brandon will lead and Dance will chase. So close, I agree. That was very, very close. It was a mistake made by both drivers. Dance was very close, but he's unable to overtake him. Now, let's go to run number 2, where Brandon will be leading, Dance will be chasing. Now, will Dance be able to win this round to make it into a one more time? All he needs to do is not making any mistakes. That's all he needs to do, not making any mistakes. And so far, both of them are not doing any mistakes in turn 1. Dance is keeping close to Brandon. So far, Dance is doing a really good job by sticking himself up to Brandon and not making any mistakes, but I can see... Oh, nope. Both drivers are doing really well. Dance is still keeping himself close to Brendan, but I can see here there is a gap slowly building. It's a small gap, but it is. Brandon is definitely building the gap between himself and Dent, and it seems that Dent's used a bit of a gutter too much there. His car bounced around, losing a bit of speed, and definitely giving Brandon the upper hand by creating a much more larger gap between him and Brandon there. Oh, Dent is still going really, really well, approaching another hairpin. How will these two fare? Brandon showing a bit of his drifting skills there. Dan's not doing it. He is doing his best to keep his speed as much as he can. Oh, but no, he is drifting. He is drifting, and that is a very beautiful drift by Dance. But will it help him out in closing his gap between himself and Brandon? Brandon approaching the high speed corner there. Wow, very nice driving. Dance as well. Brandon entered the corner already. Dance about to enter the corner. Both of them did not make any mistakes, but Dance definitely is suffering a bit of an understeer there as he entered the corner. Now, Dance entered the gutter there, trying to close his distance between him and Brandon. So far, none of them are making any mistakes. None of them are making any mistakes, but it seems that Brandon is much more faster when being the leader. Dance needs to do something if he wants to win this round. Come on, Dance. Dance doing it a bit. Wow. That is a beautiful drift by Dance, initiating an early drift so that he can enter that corner. Beautiful. Actually, that is really, really beautiful. Kasta cuba Malay language pula, we have international people. We have international people, Apis. That's why I speak in English. But if you want me to speak Malay, boleh, boleh je. Boleh. Adakah Dance? Adakah Dance boleh kejar Brandon? So far, tak dapat kejar lagi. But Dance cuba sedaya upaya dia untuk kejar Brandon by drifting. So far, Dance memang guna skill dia untuk kejar Brandon. Hey, sorry guys, Malay is too awkward for me when I'm casting, but it's okay. Good effort. I give good effort, good try. Okay, now we're back to English. Dance is unable to chase Brandon. The gap is growing. Brandon is already entering the 4 consecutive hairpins. But Dance is bouncing around. What? But oh no! Dance understeered and hit the guardrail. He made a mistake, and that mistake will cost him this race as Brandon. But Dance is oh wow, oh that is drifting. That is I think Dance knows that he is on camera right now, and he's like, you know what? Let me lose. Let me lose with style. Let me lose with style. You know, he is doing it. He's definitely doing it with style. He's gonna be like, you know what? I'm gonna show the guys I can drift. You know, who cares about winning? I made it through the quarterfinals. I'm gonna make myself look good, and he is doing that really, really well, guys. She is doing it really, really well. Good job, Dance. Good job. But I do have to tell you, Dance, Brandon is making up a very huge lead in front of you. If you want to win this round, you better catch up, though. You better catch up, though, Dance. But so far, Brandon is being very comfortable. But who knows? Will there be a twist? Will Brandon make another mistake? Because at this part of the section just now, he made a mistake, which enables Dance to catch up to him. Will Brandon be making the same mistake again? Let's see if he does so. No, Brandon is he knew that, you know, oh, I made a mistake there. I'm not gonna make the same mistake again this time, as Brandon is approaching the second final corner in his initial lead. Oh, but a bit of an understeer there, but so far Brandon is able to keep the AE86 in check. Oh, and we're approaching the final corner here. Ladies and gentlemen, the ghost of Akina wins. The ever so famous Panda Trueno, driven by Brendan, has win the second run. And I think it can be obviously said that Brendan wins this bracket. Let's give a clap to Brendan, ladies and gentlemen. Woo! Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was a good race. That was a definitely good race. I was hoping for one more time, but so far, ladies and gentlemen, we have not yet get a one more time. We have not yet get a one more time from any of our drivers, guys. Well, who knows? with our next lineup, we will get one more time. The third driver here, guys. We have Exodus versus Lewis. Yeah, in our third race. I see we have Exodus. Some Exodus fan. Apis yang biasa is an Exodus fan. Exodus is leading. It seems that he is driving an AE86, but the Levin version. He's not driving the True no. This is interesting. Where did he get it? I also don't know. Maybe he uses the skin, 11 skin for it. But now, who is leading again? Exodus is leading, guys, in the red Trueno, in the red Levin, while we have Lewis in the white Trueno. This is a battle to witness who will be able to win this race. All right, they're approaching the first corner. All right, Exodus approaching the first corner, doing so well. Okay, you're doing Lewis in his Kichi Sushiyas. AE86 chasing Exodus really, really well. He's keeping it close. He's keeping it close, guys. He's keeping it close. Aku dengar orang mention aku tadi, why though? Well, because you are a fan of Exodus, and now Exodus is racing. Exodus in the red Levin with Lewis in the white Panda Trueno. He is in the Doriking. So far, they're approaching the second hairpin. Exodus unable to shake off Lewis, showing a bit of a drift there. Lewis is still sticking himself to Exodus as much as he can. Doing so far so good. Lewis is still keeping his eyes at the back of Exodus, and Exodus suffered an accident there, which blocked Lewis. Okay, now let's see if Exodus is able. Lewis is being a very good gentleman here. I'm giving Exodus the leeway to go through first. I think maybe it's either Lewis is being a gentleman here, or maybe Lewis is trying to psych out Exodus. Who knows? He'd be like, I'm being a gentleman, but actually, I'm going to hunt you down. Because there's nothing scarier than being a chaser during a toge, as you have the power to psych out the leader, especially if you're this close to the leader, as Lewis is doing it right now. Lewis is trying to keep his game fun by playing around with Exodus as they're approaching a very fast part of Mount Akina here. Will any of them make any mistakes? It seems a bit fast, but so far, Exodus entered a bit too hot there. Lewis letting the gas off a bit, giving Exodus chance to recover back beautifully, and again giving him the chance to lead so that he can keep chasing Exodus at his back. So far, Lewis is still sticking to Exodus like me with super glue and fingers. Definitely something that is very sticky, very much pain in the butt. They're approaching the happy now. Will anything amazing happen here? Exodus doing a bit of a drift in the entry by keeping it clean and tidy through the corners. So far, they're still doing it really, really, really well. Exodus is still trying his best to run away from Lewis. So far, Lewis has not made any mistakes, but Exodus has done some. But Lewis is being very generous, letting Exodus, do his mistakes, but he is going to stick to him like glue. Lewis keeping it very clean, very tidy with himself and Exodus. It seems that Exodus is unable to run away from Lewis. He is unable to run away from Lewis, and Exodus is trying his best. He's drifting here and there. He's trying to do everything early, but still, he's unable to do so. As both of them are approaching the 4 consecutive hairpins, will anything crazy happen here as well? Both of them approaching the first hairpin very, very beautifully. Going to the second hairpin, very, very nice. Exodus using a bit of too much of a gutter there. His car is bouncing around, going through the hairpins there, still keeping it very, very nice there. Honestly, I am not so much of a big fan of the Zenki model of the E86, where instead of the rear headlights are like segregated. You know, it's combined to each other. I definitely like the Koki one, the Zenki one. Definitely not into my taste. But hey, who knows? Who am I? I don't even own an 86. It's too expensive here in Malaysia. Do you know how much a price of an 86 in Malaysia? Give or take 200,000. Do you know what you can get before 200,000? You can get a cheap house. You can get a cheap house, guys. Man, why is GDM tech so expensive in Malaysia? But anyways, let's get back to the race. As Exodus is still trying his best to keep away from Exodus pulling the Takumi move there by turning off his headlights. I'm not sure why. Maybe he can see better. We do not know. But Lewis is still keeping his headlights on. And it seems that Exodus crashed a bit on the wall guardrail there, giving a chance for Lewis to still stick to him like super glue. Wow. What? Exodus still keeping his light turns off, going as both of them turn into the second last corner. Will anything happen here? Will anything crazy happen here? No. Exodus made a mistake there, giving the opening to Lewis. Lewis doing an initial D move there. Such a Takumi move. And Lewis going to the final corner, overtaking Exodus at the last part. And ladies and gentlemen, Lewis has went through the first run first. Wow, that is so good. That is so good, ladies and gentlemen. Lewis pulling a surprise overtaking move at the second last corner of Mount Akina just now. Really reminds me of Initial D. Really reminds me of Initial D. And oh my gosh, that was so good. But clearly, we can see that Lewis won the first run. Now, to the second run, Lewis will be leading. Exodus will be chasing. Now, as we wait for the lights turn green, who will win? Will there be a one more time? Will Exodus be keeping himself close to Lewis to make this into a one more time, or will Lewis seal the deal by running away from Exodus as much as he can? The lights turn red and green. Here we go. Exodus still keeping his lights turned off. Nope, he turned it back on, guys. He turned it back on as both of them approach the first corner. Will any of them make a mistake here? Exodus showing a bit of his drifting move there. Will it help? It seems like it's building a gap between himself and Lewis there, as he turned off his lights again, probably to give a surprise to Lewis if he ever has the chance to do so. Exodus doing a bit of a drift, a bit of understeer there. Who knows? So far, we have, okay, I can see here Apis is a fan of Exodus, as he is the only one cheering for Exodus into the screen just now. It seems that Lewis understeered a bit, and Exodus is trying his best to chase back Lewis, but so far is unable to do so as the gap is building between both of them. Kinoko says initially when realistic. Yes, this is initially when realistic, as we can see both of them are doing their best. Oh, we have a Lewis fan here as well as Amir Ashraf giving his support to Lewis. Exodus went a bit too fast at the corner there, overshoots the apex. It will definitely cost him some time, and the gap that he is losing against Lewis here. Now they're entering a very high speed part of Mount Akina. Will Lewis be able to run away from Exodus? So far, they're keeping a close gap, not so noticeable yet. Will any of them make a mistake here? Both of them are keeping it really. Oh, Exodus going a bit too fast again. He went a bit too fast. He overshoots the corner, but he manages to recover it back again. So far, the gap is still the same. It's not too noticeable, but Exodus is definitely not winning anything here. If he wants to make this into one more time, he needs to keep his gap at least like less than 1 to 2 cars close, 1 to 2 cars gap. And Exodus pulling the handbrake there, making himself be able to enter the corner a bit more clean and tidy. But so far, it's not doing him that much, as the gap is still the same. It doesn't seem the gap is that long, but Lewis is definitely having the upper hand here with his gap of at least 2 more cars. No, what? Exodus pulling a late braking move there. I thought it was going to be an overtaking chance, but no. But no, Exodus keeping him. Exodus is now being able to close his gap between himself and Lewis. Is there a chance for this to be a one more time? I'm not sure. Maybe it's either Lewis was unsure where to brake just now, or he did brake a bit too early. Exodus sees that as an opportunity, breaks a bit later, way later than Lewis, managing himself to close the gap between himself and Lewis, giving him a shot to make this into a one more time. Will Exodus be able to do so? All Exodus needs to do now is to keep calm and keep close. All Exodus, that seems a bit, that's a bit of a mistake by Exodus that he went a bit too deep into that corner there. All Exodus needs to do is to not make any mistakes. Exodus making a shadow hit attack. He definitely did just now, but he did not. He was unable to overtake Lewis during that instance. But now, as we can see, the gap is building between himself and Lewis again. He understood a bit there, but he managed to power over the corner, getting back into the corner. Will he be able to close the gap? Guys, my throat is running out of saliva. I am excited to know who will be the outcome, but it seems that Exodus is losing it. Exodus is losing it to Lewis. He has such a bright chance just now against Lewis, but now he is just making a lot of mistakes by entering a lot of needless gutter, and he turned on the lights. Exodus turning back on his lights. I think it's a bit too far now that he's like, oh no, he's turning off his lights, guys. Why are you guys keep turning on and turning off? Just set one time. Why do you keep turning on and off? But it seems that Exodus is still trying his best to chase Lewis. Lewis is still keeping a very safe distance between himself and Exodus. Guys, it seems that Lewis is going to win this round as he is, okay, made a bit of a mistake there, but not too drastic. Lewis pulling a bit of a handbrake there, probably. But so far, Lewis is being very comfortable. He's already approaching the second last hairpin. The last hairpin, while Axel is only finishing the second last hairpin. Ladies and gentlemen, Lewis going to the finish line first. It's a clear win. Lewis wins the second run. Lewis wins his run between himself and Exodus. Okay, good job for both drivers. Wow. Honestly, I was really hoping for one more time. By both of them. Exodus did really well just now. Actually, Exodus definitely had a chance by doing a very late braking against Lewis at that one particular corner. But due to the mistakes, he lost the gap and Lewis manages to run away very, very smoothly. All right, but now let's go to the last, I would say to the last bracket, which is between Kenny Lim and Roy Tattoo. Okay, we have Kenny Lim and Roy Tattoo. And they are the last of the brackets. We will determine who will be entering the quarterfinals after this. Who will be leading? All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have Kenny leading with the Zenki A86, giving it while Roy Tattoo in the Koki A86. Waiting for the lights to turn green. They're revving their 4AG engines. Lights turn red and green, and here we go. Kenny Lim is running away with the Zenki 86, while Roy Tattoo. Okay, guys, turn on. Oh my gosh, guys, this is too early for initial D. Roy Tattoo already showing his dominance by turning off his lights. He's already showing himself by turning off the lights. He's trying to psych out Kenny, maybe, who knows? Or maybe, maybe he's been doing a surprise attack to Kenny after this, but so far he's not doing much. But Roy Tattoo is still keeping himself close to Kenny. Oh my gosh, guys. Guys, you guys watch too much Initial D. But definitely, Kenny almost making a mistake there. Almost giving the chance to Roy Tattoo, but no. So far, both of them are doing it really, really well. Is that the Roy? Is that real that Roy has tattoo? I do not know. We need to ask him after the stream. We will know later. And it seems that we have a Roy Tattoo fan. We have two. We have two to three Roy Tattoo fans here as well. Going. Oh no! Kenny made a mistake. Kenny made a mistake. Kenny made a mistake, and Roy Tattoo took the advantage and overtook Kenny Lim. And now Roy Tattoo has turned on his headlight. He knows that, hey, I am overtaking with a shadow technique. I will keep this into my clips of the best moments in 2025. And no, again, guys, Roy Tattoo is still turning off his lights. Why do they keep turning on and off? I don't know why. But it's okay. But it seems that Roy Tattoo is running away from Kenny. Where Kenny made a mistake just now, he overshoots the corner, hit the guardrail. Roy Tattoo sees that as an opportunity and overtook Kenny Lim. As Roy Tattoo now is trying his best to create a gap between himself and Kenny. Will Kenny be able to overtake Roy Tattoo back again and secure his win? So far, it seems that it is unlikely, ladies and gentlemen, as Roy Tattoo is running away from Kenny as much as he can. The gaps is not that much change, but definitely Roy Tattoo is running away. We need to see Roy's tattoo. We will be doing that on our exclusive interview with Roy Tattoo later, guys. Adam saying that dive bomb from Roy Tattoo, he definitely did. He definitely took the opportunity. He sees the opportunity, he takes it, and he is doing it really, really well. Amir here saying that Kenny tengok mirror cari Roy Tattoo. Probably, yeah, that could be a probability, and maybe that's why Kenny overshoots the corner. But we are not so sure. We don't know. We need to ask the drivers next after this lah. Amir says exposure 200 ppm. And Flutter saying that there's a night vision monitor. I'm unsure about that as well. We will need to ask the drivers after this, ladies and gentlemen. But it seems that Roy Tattoo is building a significant gap between him and Kenny. Kenny is not doing so well, guys. Kenny is not closing the gap between himself and Roy Tattoo. But that was a beautiful drift. That's a very beautiful drift by Kenny. 10 out of 10 for showmanship. Showmanship, definitely. Kenny is showing his showmanship to the audience here. He's doing it really well. He's trying to be KT Sushi, I think. As someone, so far, he's doing it A-okay. Let's say, Akra say, open light put, open full brightness. This race is crazy. Definitely crazy, guys. Definitely crazy. Omet saying that real chance drive with default exposure. I would agree to that as well. I will agree to that as well. Adam saying that come on, get in him, come on, get in him. We have a supporter here, a supporter that is really, really supporting you from the sidelines, giving you support from the other side. So far, Roy Tattoo is still turning off his headlights, while Kenny is still trying his best to close his gap between himself and Roy Tattoo. Kenny is not losing that much. He is still able to see Roy Tattoo, with his eyes. But so far, he is not closing the gap. He's not closing the gap as both of them approaching the third sector of the downhill race. None of them are making any mistakes. Roy Tattoo definitely cannot afford any mistake. If he does make a mistake, he will lose this win. And as I said the word mistake, Roy Tattoo made a mistake. But will this give that opportunity to Kenny Lim to chase after him? It seems unlikely, as Roy Tattoo is still keeping his lead, going through the second last corner there. Very nice and very clean. Roy Tattoo giving us a bit of a show there by drifting through the second last corner. Roy Tattoo going to the last corner, ladies and gentlemen. And Kenny is nowhere to be seen. Ladies and gentlemen, Roy Tattoo going through the finish line first, with Kenny at the back. So obviously, in this round, Roy Tattoo, the chaser, won the first run. Wow, that was a great drive by both of them. Definitely, both of them has potential, and I can see here now, Roy Tattoo is in the line, starting line, waiting for Kenny Lim to wait behind him to start the race. Right. So Exodus says, Hancho orang tu tak nampak malam drive. Tambah off-light, kasih suicide mission saja. My God. Oh, both of them are on the line. All right. So now, let's wait for the lights to turn green. Roy Tattoo leading. Kenny chasing. Will Kenny be able to redeem himself in this second run, or will Roy Tattoo go to the semifinals? The lights turn green, and here we go. Kenny and Roy Tattoo still showing off his dominance by turning off his headlights. Kenny still keeping his headlights up. Both of them going through the first corner. Roy Tattoo is already building a significant advantage between himself and Kenny Lim. But will Kenny be able to shorten the gap? Their approach, their first happen. So far, both of them are not making any mistakes. Kenny showing a bit of his drift there as well, as the gap is still obvious from between Roy Tattoo and Kenny here. Oh, how will this go? How will this go? Will any of them make a mistake? So far, no. They are keeping it clean. Roy Tattoo knows that he has the power now. He has the skill. All he needs to do is just to be clean and fast. While Kenny knows that he is at risk. If he wants to make this into one more time, giving him another chance to get through, he needs to be very, very careful. But as you can see here, Kenny is really, really pushing the car to its limit there. He's really pushing it. Almost kissing the guardrail there. Almost kissing the guardrail there as they approach another hairpin. Roy Tattoo doing it really well. Kenny is doing it really, really well as well. Let me watch the comment to see if any of you guys are supporting any others. Come on, Kenny Lim. Kalah belanja Maggie Amin says. While Kenny balik pa. Wow. Show some support, guys. Don't discourage our drivers. The race is not even over yet. Okay, I spoke a bit too soon. Kenny, I think I have this thing called mulut masin, where I notice every time I notice, guys, whenever I say this driver won't make any mistakes, he make a mistake. So maybe it's my mulut masin. Maybe if I say I'm not rich, I'm not rich, maybe more money will come to me. Let's see. But so far, Kenny made a mistake, which definitely giving Roy Tattoo the advantage as he's making much more gaps around him. Kenny approaching the corner, a bit of an oversteer there, still unable to close his gap to himself and Roy Tattoo. Now let's get back to the comments. So, Dengki gang says, nampak apa tu? Tak nampak apa-apa, nampak hati you saja. Maybe. Okay, so Brandon here as well said, let's go kepada sesiapa yang kat depan. Currently, Roy Tattoo is in the lead, Brandon. Currently, Roy Tattoo is in the lead. Rasa tempat ni keras, ya betul. We have heard that news from AKINA. There's this one black and white Panda Trueno driving at, give or take 4 to 5 a.m. in the morning, drifting his way through only to send Tofu to the hotel. Tu je. That's the hantu that we know. Guys. Okay? So, Denki Gang says, chia. Yeah, chia. Back to you, brother. Chia. Back to you. Their approach. Okay, so the both drivers are approaching the 4 consecutive hairpins. Definitely a lot of tire screeching. Yeah, it seems that Kenny probably braked a bit too hard there. His tires locked up. If he turned off the ABS, we are unsure about that. But so far, Kenny is still unable to close his gap between him and Roy Tattoo. Okay, Kenny made a bit of a mistake there. Almost kissing the guardrail. Oh boy. We don't know who will win now. I mean, honestly, I think I know who will win. But let's keep the suspense up, okay? So let me read back the messages while they are racing. Without head, sorry guys, no head. I am straight. I am very straight. Wow, Kenny showing a bit of his drifting skills there. Oh, that's beautiful, but it will definitely not help him out in terms of closing the gap between himself and Roy Tattoo. Denki Gang says, give them Asia, then see what happens. Okay, admin is here to listen. Who knows, maybe we'll have an Asia TOUGE Series in the future. Make sure, if we do that happen, make sure you join. Okay, Brandon says here, I think if wanna win, kena bawa Benz lah. Oh no, that's an initial D reference, guys. Just in case if you don't know why he's mentioned a Mercedes Benz, that's an initial D reference. Okay, that's an initial D reference. It's a very sad episode. Okay, I want Takumi to be with her, but sadly, he got cucked. Okay, he got cucked, sadly. But it's okay. He found another love interest in fifth stage, so I am happy with that. It is a-okay. Roy Tattoo made a mistake. Oh my gosh, Roy Tattoo made a mistake. Roy Tattoo made a mistake on the last corner. He's trying to be like, you know what? I'm gonna make this into an initial D moment. He made a mistake. Wait, what? Is Roy Tattoo still? Roy Tattoo is showing off. He is like, you know what? I'm gonna win anyways. Like, let's show off a bit. Let's do a bit of Roy, you haven't finished. Okay, now Roy Tattoo has finished his run. Roy, you haven't finished your run yet. Please don't do that. That is very, very scary. But ladies and gentlemen, I think we can see here Roy Tattoo makes it into the quarterfinals. Let's give a big clap to both drivers. Congratulations, Roy Tattoo. Congratulations. Ah, that was a good bracket run by our 8 drivers. Now, so just to, oh yeah, sorry. All right. Oh, now it's the semi-final, guys. Semi-final, as we have Omet, we have um Omet and Brandon. Oh, we have Omet, Brandon, we have Lewis, and now we have Roy Tattoo. 4 drivers left, guys. 4 drivers left. Who will win the race tonight? My money is on Omet. My money is on Omet, but at the same time, my money is also on Lewis as well. If they two manage to get to do a battle again, it will create another interesting series. But now, guys, we have Brandon leading in the Panda Trueno with Omet leading with her Black Edition Trueno. Both of them are on the starting line right now, adjusting themselves behind the cone. How will go? How will it go? Kenny should use Roy's strategy, give stress to front driver. We will see after this, guys. Flutters. All right, guys. Brandon is leading. Brandon is leading. Let's wait for the lights to turn green. How will this race go, guys? How will this race go? Will Omet take the win or will Brandon take the win? Only time will tell. They're revving up their engines, waiting for the lights to turn green. 3 reds and a green, and here we go. Brandon making a run. Omet a bit slow on the reaction there, creating a gap already. And Omet is already turning off her headlights. Omet is already turning off her headlights, showing her dominance to Brandon. Wow, that was a really close to the guardrail there. Both of them are really pushing it. Both of them are really, really pushing it. Definitely just now. What? Omet made a mistake. Omet made a mistake. Oh, that was such a close accident, but Omet managed to recover herself. And now Omet is definitely losing a bit of a lead between herself and Brandon. But guys, I'm gonna let you know, Omet has won our first TOUGE Series 1.0. She was our champion. Will she be able to do it again against Brandon, or will Brandon claim the title of, hey, I kicked the butt of the TOUGE Series 1.0 winner? We will never know, guys. We will never know. So far, Brandon is doing it really well. Omet is still not closing the gap between herself and Brandon. What will happen? So far, we will never know. Let me read the messages now. Flutters is rooting for Omet. Amer Ashraf is rooting for Eka. Eka is not even in the race, guys. Eka's not even in the race. He's the screamer right now. Okay. Amir is supporting Brandon. Potong Tang Corner. Brandon is still leading. So far, so good. He's doing it really, really well. Both of them are entering into the high-speed corner here. Will any of them make a mistake? So far, none. None of them are making any mistakes. But Omet is definitely taking a bit of a gutter there. This is very unusual from Omet, I'll be honest. I have never seen Omet using that gutter that much, to be honest, guys. This is a first, but Omet is definitely, I think she is closing the gap. She's closing the gap bit by bit. She's closing the gap bit by bit between herself and Brandon. And Brandon probably did not notice Omet is behind there with the lights turned off. Also, the black color of the Black Edition definitely makes it very hard to see in the rear view mirror, which gives the chance to Brandon to focus more on the road itself. Okay, now we're going to a high-speed part here. Will any of them make a mistake? The road here is bumpy, guys. It is not smooth. If they brake at the wrong time, they will be kissing the guardrail. So far, both of them are still doing it really, really well. Omet is still unable to close the gap between herself and Brandon. This is an interesting outing, guys. Omet, which has won all her battles so far, is unable to close her gap between herself and Brandon. Brandon is still running away. He's still keeping a considerable gap between himself and Omet right there. But Omet, will Omet be able to have a chance to close up her distance in the 4 consecutive happens? I can't even see Omet, guys. The car is so dark. I couldn't even see the car, but now I can see. I wonder how Brandon's seeing Oman from the rearview mirror now. Brandon using the gutter there, but maybe a bit too much, uh, which gives a chance to Oman to chase back, to close back the lead. Wow, Oman is definitely using the hairpins to her advantage as she is closing her gap between herself and Brandon. Oman doing a bit of a drift there. Definitely created a gap back again between herself and Brandon. Brandon, all he has to do now is to keep calm and drive away. Oman making a bit of a mistake there, overshoots her corner a bit, needs a bit of a correcting there. But so far, the gap is still not that significant. But it seems that Brandon still has the advantage here, guys. It seems that Brandon still has the advantage here. Oman doing a very clean drift there. Not too showy, not too slow, just nice. As they're approaching the straights, will Omet be able to chase down Brandon, or will Brandon be able to run away? Will Omet do a late braking here in this corner since she is turning off her lights? Nope, oh, they're not doing it. They're not doing it. But Omet is still, the distance is not that much. The distance is not that much. I am unsure who will win. We will have to wait for the admin. But it seems that Oman is keeping herself close to Brandon. Wow, this is going to be a good race, guys. Will this going to, or will any of them make a mistake here? Will Oman do a last minute braking here? No, second last corner, both of them keeping it clean. No overtaking initiatives here. Both of them are keeping it really clean. Last corner, who will be the winner? It seems that Oman is still keeping it close to Brandon. Made a mistake there. Ladies and gentlemen, Oman has won the first run. Wow, that was such a good battle between those two. Both of them are very skillful with their AE86s. Now, let's go to the second run. We have Oman leading when Brandon chasing. Will Brandon be able to close the gap between himself and Omet and win the race? Lights turn red and green. Here we go. Brandon did not make any mistakes in the jump in the start there, keeping the gap close and consistent between himself and Omet. Going through the first corner, Omet this time is not turning off her headlights. She's not turning off her headlights. Definitely she knows. I think she has acknowledged that Brandon is a good driver and she will not go easy. She will definitely need to be very serious with him. Both of them touching the outside gutter. They're pushing their A86 to the max. But Brandon, it seems that Brandon made a mistake there by going a bit over the corner there. Overshoots himself a bit. A small gap has been developed between himself and Omen. But so far, they are keeping it really clean. So far, Brandon is still doing well. Omen is still really doing well. Both of them are not using the gutter, which is a very smart choice, as sometimes it may not work as per the anime is. Now, I'm not going to say the trouble word, because who knows, I might jinx any of them, but so far, they are good. So far, they are good. So far, Brandon is still keeping his distance between himself and Oman. Will we witness the first one more time in HSM TOUGE Series 2.0 history in the semi-finals? Who knows? Who knows? Stand by to watch out, guys. And also, guys, if you're here, please do share this stream with your friends. Let them watch. Okay, sorry. I'll turn off her live for a while and then I'll turn back on. Probably just to show her, dominance. So far, still doing really well. Very clean by both drivers. These two drivers are on par between each other. Omen is turning off her headlights again. Maybe she memorized this part of the course, which gives her the confidence to do so. Brandon is sliding around, but not for show. He is really pushing that AE86 to the max. Omen kissed the guardrail a bit there, definitely giving Brandon the chance to chase back. Brandon doing it really, really clean. Wow. Brandon is really doing it really well. He's definitely pushing the A86 to the max on this one. Series mode activated, definitely. Locked in, yes, definitely lamps, definitely both of them are locked the heck in because both of them, I speak a bit too soon again because Brendan kissed the pin of the gutter outside there. All right, so far those two are doing it really well. There's a significant gap, but I believe that Brendan has a chance here. Brendan has a chance to make this into a one more time. We do not know. We do not know. All right, Denki Gang says it should be side by side, but this race is already unfair. The front driver always know how to take advantage of their rival. Not exactly as well, guys. Not exactly as well as the chaser. Also has some kind of advantage as well. They can use their presence to psych out the leader. So it's not always the advantage on the leader because definitely the chaser will have an advantage to psych out the leader as well. We have Rika. Rika, hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to the stream, Rika. Welcome to the stream. We are witnessing our semi-final where Omet is racing against Brandon Chong. So far, this is run two. Omet has won the first round. Will Brandon be able to close his gap between himself and Omet? It seems that the gap is building up right now. Brandon is losing speed. Brandon is losing his advantage here, guys. It doesn't look that really well for Brandon, but will he be able to close the gap? Whoa, whoa! Brandon used the gutter a bit too much there, lifting the two wheels from his car and definitely lessened his chance between himself and Omet. He should not have done that. He should not have done that. It seems that Omet is making a very big gap between herself, and Brandon. Will Brandon be able to recover from his mistakes? Will Brandon be able to close the gap? So far, it doesn't look like so. Ducky says they should focus on handling and speed, not chasing that opponent. But guys, but Ducky, this is the beauty. This is the beauty of Toge. It's not only about handling. It's not only about speed. It is also about focus, mentality, and so far we have seen a lot of interesting mental battles going on. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, Omet has go through the last corner with her lights off, and it's a clear win. Omet Omet has won the race, and she will be proceeding to the finals. Good try by Brandon, but once that has been done, once that has been done, once that has been done, good job, Brandon. That was a good effort. I was really hoping for a one more time just now, but it's okay. Maybe we'll have a one more time later. All right. Flutter says that is the rules of the type of the race. You are correct. That is the rules of the race. This is a Toge run, Donkey Gang. This is a Toge run where the style is requires them to be a chaser and a leader instead of doing side by side. All right. So that is the Toge way. That is how the Japanese did it. We are going to respect that way, and we are going to keep up at it. But so far, Brandon did a really good job chasing Omet just now. Definitely a valiant effort, but sadly, Omet has won that round and going to the finals. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we have Louis Xia and Roy Tatu. I assume that Louis is leading right now. Okay, I know because he's driving the Zenki 86, while Roy Tatu is in the Koki 86. And the lights turn greens, and here we go. Which was the second Lewis, which was our second winner in our Togi Series 1.0 in Batakali, versus Roy Tatu, an interesting name that I have not heard about yet. But so far, he is making his name by again turning off his headlights. Roy Tatu is turning off his headlights. Is he going to use this tactic to psych out Lewis? Will Lewis be affected by it? What? What? Oh, it seems that it's working because right now is side by side. But no, Lewis has taken the lead back again. But that was a good overtaking opportunity by Roy Tattoo, and Lewis is definitely not going to let that happen again. Or will it happen again? We won't know. Roy Tattoo taking the inside there. Oh, still unable to do so, but he definitely can close the gap between himself and Lewis. Yeah, wow, this is a great battle already. No, no, Lewis made a mistake. Lewis made a mistake. Lewis made a mistake. He went over the line. He went over the corner. He went to the wall. Roy Tattoo see that opportunity and has overtaken Lewis. Yeah. But the battle is far from over, guys. We're still only in sector 1. We will be entering sector 2 soon. Will Lewis be able to close the gap between himself and Roy Tattoo? What a move. What a move by Roy Tattoo there against Lewis. Yeah, Lewis. What? What? Lewis really, he is really pushing the 86. He tried late braking there, but it seems that it's not working as he crashed into the guardrail just now. He is really pushing the 86 to the limit. This is the beauty of Togi, guys. This is the beauty of Toge. This is what happens when you get overtaken, especially as a leader. What will you do? Will you be calm and patient and focus through, or will you be panicking? This is the beauty of Toge, guys. It's very different from a side-by-side race, as we can clearly see here. Lewis, who is always calm in his driving this time, made a mistake and now is making more mistake, but he's pushing his 86 to the limit to close the gap between himself and Roy Tattoo. Roy Tattoo keeping his headlights off, doing a really good job. Okay, Lewis made a mistake again, guys. Lewis made a mistake again. Lewis made a mistake. He went over the line. He lost control of his 86 and he has wedged himself between the two guardrails. He needs to get back into the race. He needs to get back into the race. Roy Tattoo is coasting through the drive. Dinky, this is why we do Toge, Dinky. This is why we do Toge. This is what I want to see. The battle, not only between the two cars, not only between the two drivers, but I want to see the mentality battle between these two people. And it is clear, it is clear, it is clear that Roy Tattoo is winning in the race. Someone commented Roy to turn on the headlights, and Roy did it. Roy be like, okay, you know what? I listen to the people once and turn on the lights lah. And so far, Roy Tattoo is doing it really, really well. He is upholding the Takumi name into the car. He is driving. Okay, just for information, guys, he is using the initial D skin. So I think he's getting some aura. You know, he's getting like I am Takumi. I am Takumi. So that's why I put on this skin. And guys, it's definitely working. It's definitely working. Okay. Flutter says would love to not see Roy Tattoo versus Omet. Two drivers turning their headlights off. Oh, that would be an interesting battle to see. Who knows? Who knows? Amen says nice killer move, Roy Tattoo. Yes, definitely a very nice move by Roy Tattoo there. Akma saying that rest in peace, Tofu. Bro, my Tofu got crashed. Guys, if Tofu got crashed, it's okay. We just want to know who win. We just want to know who win. Okay. Amir says that balik kena rotan, most probably due to that initial D scene where, if you watch the live action initial D, which is played by Jay Chow, yeah, in that scene, it is a bit unpopular between the fans because they showed Bunta as a bit of an abusive father. I don't like the adaptation very much. I prefer the anime. I prefer the anime, guys. And so far, Roy Tattoo is comfortably going to the last corner, going to the finish line, and Lewis is going to the second last corner, guys. The winner for our run between Lewis and Roy Tattoo is Roy Tattoo, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations to Roy Tattoo, as Lewis now is trying to always Lewis. Oh, okay. I assume that Lewis has jumped back into the map because he did not went to the finish line. But it's okay. Akbar saying that hashtag justice for tofu. You know, I really love tofu. I think tofu is a very good food. Okay, kan? You know, while we're waiting for them to start, you know, one of my favorite tofu dishes is mapo tofu. You know, it's spicy, got meat, um, it's, especially me. If I do work out in the gym, right, and you definitely need protein. Tofu is definitely a very cheap alternative. So to the people here who are listening to the stream, you would like to build muscle while saving money, and also if you're vegetarian, yeah, tofu is a good option, guys. Tofu is a good option. Okay. Oh, now we have Roy Tatu leading. We have Lewis chasing, going into the second round. With the first round won by Roy Tatu, will Lewis be able to redeem his win back again from Roy Tatu? Roy Tatu showing off his skills by turning off the headlights again. He is asserting his dominance. He is asserting his dominance between himself and Lewis. So far, Roy Tatu and Lewis, they're doing it very, very well. No mistakes has occurred so far. No mistakes has occurred so far. These two are doing it really, really well. My money is on Roy Tatu, but guys, tell me in the comments, who would you like to see win in this race? Would you like to see Roy Tatu? If you want Roy Tatu to win, type in Roy Tatu. If you want Roy Tatu to win, you have to type *355 Roy Tatu and send to 11222. Okay? Or if you want Lewis to win, you have to also the same thing, *355 Lewis, *355 and send to 11222. Okay? Yes. Okay, Lewis did not make any mistake, but definitely that was not a major mistake, but a minor mistake by Lewis there, showing on with this E86. And Roy Tatu, so far no mistakes, is building his gap between himself and Lewis. And yeah, we'll keep it on. Okay, well, meanwhile, no, Lewis made a mistake. He overpowered. He was a bit too heavy on the throttle. He got into an accident. Roy Tatu now only buka lampu, going through. He's doing it very, very beautiful. Oh, no! Yeah, Hado. My mulut was so masin because Roy Tatu made a mistake as well. Roy Tatu has made a mistake as well. But so far, it's not affecting him because Lewis is actually quite far from Roy Tatu. Wash. Roy Tofu. We have seen here. Okay, guys. Hashtag Roy Tofu, guys. Hashtag Roy Tofu. Roy Tofu. Roy Tofu. Oh my gosh. Thank you to the admin for starting the movement, the Roy Tofu movement. Very good, very good. Guys, hashtag Roy Tofu, guys. Hashtag Roy Tofu. Okay? So Amir Ashraf kasta dahaga. Yes, saya sangat dahaga because dua-dua crazy battle. Saya pun batuk dah seminggu dah, but it is okay. Saya boleh hidup and I'm going to cast until the day I am disappearing from this earth. I cannot use the D word. Maybe it may get demonetized on YouTube. Who knows, kan? Okay? But yes, Roy Tatu is doing it really, really well. He is coasting. He's just chilling. He's doing his usual morning delivery. He's sending tofu to kedai nasi lemak Kak Pia. Who knows? Maybe Kak Pia's sambal is vegetarian using tofu. Who knows? Who knows, guys? Maybe he's not even sending tofu. Maybe he's sending curry pap. In the morning, kan? In the morning, I remember when I was like 6:30. When I was a kid, at 6:30 in the morning. Wake up early, go to school. Because I forgot to make my breakfast, I will always stop by to this one bus stop station, kan? Where there's like this auntie will be selling like curry pap and nasi lemak. Sedap. Sadly, she's not there anymore, but it will always be remembered as her nasi lemak. It's only 50 cents during the time. I remember. Very good nasi lemak, 50 cents, and very cheap. Very, very good. Okay? But anyways, again, let's go back to the stream. Lewis just entered the first 4 consecutive hairpins, while Roy Tatu is already finishing it. He already finished it. Okay? No, not yet. The battle is still going on. It's still going on, guys. I got the message from the admin. It is still going on. Exodus says, Lewis kaki grab lagi. Is he? I do not know. Is Lewis punya kaki grab? I do not know. Lizard says, again, my tofu. Really? Guys, don't worry. I think, judging by the way Roy Tatu drives, I think the tofu is safe. Guys. Don't worry. You will get your... I don't know. What's a Malaysian dish that uses tofu, guys? Comment in the chat. Tell me one Malaysian dish that uses tofu. Okay? Name me, okay, anyone that can type into the chat right now. Name me one dish that in a Malaysian dish that uses tofu. Okay, please do, please do, please do. Okay. Exodus says, "Voila, he did so well when face me." Guys, that's the beauty of Toge. That's the beauty of Toge. No one is perfect. It's all about mentality and focus. As I can see on my map here, Roy Tattoo is already going to approach the final corner. Well, it's okay. It's a good race. Definitely, I can see it early right now that Roy Tattoo is the winner of the race. Lewis is still doing his best to finish the race like a man. We can applaud him for that. We can definitely applaud him for that. Good job by both drivers. Good job. Okay. What? Yeah, no, Lewis. Lewis, you can finish the line. Okay, no, it seems that Lewis has given up on the second last corner. We won, ladies and gentlemen. Roy Tattoo has won his race and he will be going to the final. Hashtag Roy Tofu, guys. Type in the chats. Hashtag Roy Tofu. Okay. Wow. Okay, guys, I have received news from the admin that now we will be doing P3. We'll be doing a race for P3. We will be doing a race for P3. Who? Okay, we're waiting for the answer from our admin. Meanwhile, I can read the comments here. Okay, tarik nafas primer. Hold on. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for the tarik nafas. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Commentator, please stop destroy my career. I'm sorry. I like this job very much. I like this job very much. Okay. Esok Kedai Tofu close, yeah? Yeah, sorry guys. Esok Kedai Tofu HSM is closed due to too many tofus getting destroyed. But you can get tofu fa. Tofu fa is still available, okay? All right. I'm going to say nasi lemak sambal sotong. Muhammad Suhaimi says, I need my money back. My tofu berkecai. Sorry guys. You buy, you cry. Okay? You buy, you cry. If rosak, kita tak boleh buat apa-apa. Okay? Sorry. Oh, all right, guys, we are going to take five. We are going to take five, okay? Stand by in the chats as we will be deciding who will be racing after this, guys, okay? Keep commenting on keep staying and share with your friends as well, all right? For P3 after this. Let's go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back for our P3 race. Let's see, let's see. We have our drivers coming back. Okay, we have our drivers coming back now. It will be P3. It will be P3 between Brandon Chong and Louis. Yeah, guys. Yeah, like, comment, and share. Share around with your friends. Share them the Malaysian sim racing spirit, guys. Okay, show them the sim racing Malaysia spirit. Okay. All right. So now we have. I'm assuming that is Brandon. Oh no, it's Lewis. Lewis is leading. Lewis is leading the race, guys. Lewis is leading the race. Will he be able to redeem himself? Will he be able to redeem himself after his battle? Oh no! Ay, mula ay masi. Because Lewis made a mistake as Brendan taking the inside. Who will emerge from the corner? It's Brendan. It's Brendan. Brendan has overtaken Lewis at the first corner. We just started the race. And already there's an overtaking. A very unusual place to overtake as well. Brendan now has the lead. Lewis is now chasing Brendan. Brendan, as the both of them approaching the first hairpin of the map, second hairpin of the map, how will they do? Yeah, Hado. Yeah, Hado. First already, and Brendan sees that he did have opportunity, and he's like, "What? Salam petang, saya Brendan," and he must already. Very well. Good job, good drive by Brendan there. He saw the opportunity and he takes it back. Oh, the race is far from over, guys. Will Lewis be able to catch back to Brendan and overtake him? So far, Lewis is still keeping himself close to Brendan. All Lewis needs to do is not making any mistakes. All he needs to do is just to keep himself focused, and he will be able to get his chance back again. Okay, going through a very fast corner here. Oh, Brandon is keeping it really clean. Lewis still okay, but still okay. So far, still okay. Both of them are still okay. Still good, still good. Okay, caster boleh check darah tinggi dah. Masih sangat mulutnya. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. It seems that my blood is too much. It's okay. Tomorrow I will go to clinic kesihatan. I will get you my blood pressure. Okay, I will get you my blood pressure number. So far, my doctor says my blood pressure is okay because I did my blood pressure check last week. Okay, so far it's still good. So far it's still good. Okay, but I think the reason why my blood is boiling right now is definitely from the pressure between Brandon and Lewis, as Lewis has still not being able to overtake Brandon as they'll be entering the second sector of the race soon. Okay, so okay, let me read the comments for a while now. Okay, let me read the comments for a while now. Okay, 9-9 run, final eat sugar. Whoa, Lewis made a bit of a mistake there by understeering and braking a bit too hard there, making him losing a significant speed as well through that corner as just now. Oh, interesting. Nak suruh caster jangan cakap pun tak boleh because that's my job. My job is the caster. My job is the caster. I have to speak. Okay. Izzat and Muhammad Akmal says the hashtag 5 rounds, 5 rounds for final. We will never know, guys. That one we will leave between. We will see after this how Omed Lewis getting a bit too deep there, making his 86 jump around. Okay, too jumpy. But yes, let's see the final battle after this between Omet and Roy Tatu to see who will be able to secure their win as TOUGE Series 2.0's winner. But now let's just focus on Brendan and Lewis here first. Let's focus on these two. So far, Lewis has not been able to close his gap between himself and Brendan. Brendan is being very comfortable there, running away from Lewis as much as he can. So far, Lewis tonight has been making quite a lot of mistakes, which is a bit unusual, but it is okay. But then, life is not perfect. Things happens all the time, okay? And so far, Brendan is running away very comfortably with the Takumi skin, running away from Brendan and Lewis as much as he can. So far, no mistake. So far, no mistake. This is where I think Brandon made a mistake, but I don't know. But so far, Brandon is doing it really, really beautiful. It's like watching Initial D in real life, guys. It is what this like watching Initial D in real life because Brandon is doing it really, really well. Okay. Obviously, not Jen says winner gets AE86. You will get an AE86 sticker, guys. You'll get an 86 sticker. That one is up to admin depending lah. Okay, I cannot guarantee on that one. Cannot guarantee on that one. But Brandon is going through the final corner now with Lewis not inside. Ladies and gentlemen, the first run between Lewis and Brandon for the P3 battle goes to Brandon. Good job, Brandon. Good job, Lewis. Good drive. A very good drive. A very good drive. Now, the battle is far from over as we will be going to our second run. Our second run between Brandon, which is the leading car, and Lewis in the chase car. Now, if we want this to make into a one more time, all Lewis has to do is to keep close. That's all he needs to do, guys. But let's see how this go. It seems that Lewis got a better start than Brandon as he is keeping himself really close to Brandon right there. Going through the first corner. Will anything magical happen like in the first run just now? No. Both of them kept them really tight, really tidy. Good job. No accidents, no overtaking, and maybe soon we will see. So far, Brandon and Lewis went through the first hairpin really, really good. No mistakes so far. Very, very nice. Very, very nice, guys. Okay. It seems that Mama Akmal says that winner gets tofu tomorrow. Go to claim it. I'm not sure about that. Wow, wow. I thought there was gonna be an overtaking happen, but yeah, nope. Still keeping it close. Lewis is trying his best to keep himself close to Brandon Chong. So far, Brandon is still leading with a significant lead, far away from Lewis. Oh, Brandon went a bit too drifty there, which will definitely cost him some speed, which Lewis can use to his advantage, ladies and gentlemen. He can use it to his advantage. So far, so good. So far, it's still so good. Okay, Imran says tofu delivered. Yes, give 5 star. Give 5 star to the rating, please. And Muhammad Sami says winner gets Alpha Neo. Maybe. I put that out, bro. I put that out. But I know one thing they will win. They will win their pride, their place as a TOUGE Series 2.0 winner. So far, no, okay. Whoa, Lewis almost made a mistake there. But so far he's still able to keep it in some control. He's still doing it really well. Brandon showing his drive. He's doing his drive really, really good. It seems like it seems like he's very flowy. Maybe he is in his flow state right now because Lewis is not making any close gap between him. So he may be a bit chilling, but so far the race is still yet far from over. Lewis taking a bit too much in the inside there, getting his 86 hoppy like a rabbit. So far, still okay. And Ame says, the winner will be the champion. Yes, you are correct, Ame. The winner will be the champion. Okay? But the question is, who will be the winner? Who will be the champion? We do not know. That is the race that we will leave it after this. So far, Brandon is doing a really good job keeping his distance away from Lewis. Lewis is unable to close the gap. What is happening? What is happening, guys? Okay. Amir Ashraf Izzat says hashtag final Fujian plus fog. Guys, they already have fit. They already have mist, guys. They're driving in nighttime. It's already misty. Do you want the drivers to be tortured? You guys like the drivers to be tortured, guys? Kasihan, wah, Lewis. I think Lewis may have accidentally think that this is a rally stage, but this is not a rally stage. This is not Iro Hazaka where you can jump between hairpins, but still keeping it there, Lewis. Still keeping it there. He's still keeping it very, very nice. He's still trying his best to chase Brandon, but with no avail. Okay. Meanwhile, let me read the comments more. Mama Akmal and obviously not Jen says hashtag Final Future Plus Fog. I don't think we will be able to do that tonight, guys. I don't think we'll be able to do that. Flutter says, oh, not tofu dinner. My parents had tofu. I did not have tofu. I had chicken teriyaki. I made it myself. Very, very nice. Very good for protein as well. If you want the recipe, just Google for it. It's very, very nice. It's really nice. It's actually really, really nice. Okay. Okay, Izzat says, come on lah. Muhammad Swain says, winner for tonight's events actually Ice Tea. Yes, in the end, guys, the winner is ourselves. The true winner of everything is ourselves. Okay, everyone here is a winner. I am a winner. Brandon is a winner. Lou is a winner. All of you in the comment chats also a winner. Semua pemenang di hatiku. Okay, semua pemenang di hatiku, guys. Alright. Okay, Exodus says Lewis rasa cemas already. Maybe we do not know. We cannot know if he is cemas or not. But judging from his driving, he is definitely a bit more twitchy than usual, though. Okay. Imran says winner got iced tea. Oh, yes. Sorry, saya sudah berpunya. Saya sudah berpunya, guys. I'm already taken. But if you want the ice can, not iced tea, okay? Okay, Lams Kosa says chia chia chia. Imo batu. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Brandon going through the finish line as he is the P3 winner for our HSM TOUGE Series 2.0. Congratulations to Brandon. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, solid drive by Brandon there. Solid drive. So we have Brandon officially being P3 for our HSM TOUGE Series 2.0. Okay, hashtag Brandon is a champion. Okay, no, so he's not champion, but you know, you get the gist. You get the gist. Okay, hashtag Brandon is champion, guys. Hashtag Brandon is champion. Okay, now, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to our final race of the night. Okay, we have the driver, the crazy lady driver from Egypt, Omet, versus our hidden Takumi Fujiwara, Roy Tattoo. Battling it out right now with Omet leading and Roy Tattoo chasing her. How will this go? How will this go? Will this be a 5-round final? Who knows? Will we have a one more time? Who knows? But I'm really hoping for a one more time. So far, Omet and Roy Tattoo are keeping it close together. Roy Tattoo, out of nowhere, just came into this game and be like, you know what, I'm gonna take this challenge and win. And so far, he has proven himself, showing his skills to Omet. But again, guys, at the same time as well, Omet also has experience with Mount AKINA, especially with AE86s. So definitely, she has the experience advantage. Roy Tattoo made a mistake. Roy Tattoo made a bit of a mistake there. He went a bit too deep into the gutter and jumped a bit just now. But now, Roy Tattoo has unleashed his secret weapon. He turned off his headlights, guys. He turned off his headlights, hoping to surprise Omet sooner or later. But Omet is still keeping the headlights on, which is very unusual, as Omet is usually the one that will be turning off her headlights. But I think she knows that this battle is serious. She wants that first place. She will keep that headlight on just for her safety sake. So far, Omet taking a bit. Wow, very nice wheel over gutter technique there as well. But Roy Tattoo is still keeping it close with Omet as they're going through a very fast section here. Will any of them make a mistake? This is where usually drivers make mistake. Will any of them make a mistake? Omet taking a bit of an inside line there, went a bit wide. Roy Tattoo also made it a bit wide, but so far both of them got into it really, really well. Now Omet has finally shown her fang. She is going blind on the second part of the course. Both of them, guys, both of them are going blind. Both of them are going blind. Both of them. Is Roy Tattoo driving or Kota Majid? This is Roy Tattoo. Roy Tattoo is driving. Roy Tattoo is driving in the Panda Trueno while Omet is in the Black Edition for the AE86. Both of them are turning off their headlights, guys. Both of them are showing their true skills. They don't need headlights. But apparently, Roy Tattoo just turned on his headlights. Not so sure why, but maybe he just wants to know where Omet is. Roy Tattoo made a mistake. Roy Tattoo made a mistake. He went a bit too fast there and he kissed the guardrail, giving Omet a bit of a distance to take chance. A bit of a drifting there by Roy Tattoo. Not sure how it helps out, but definitely Omet now is running. Omet now is running, guys. Omet is running away from Roy Tattoo. Will this be? Will there be no more one more time? I do not know, guys, but it seems that the chance is slim because Roy Tattoo, for the first time ever, made a mistake. He has never made a mistake in all his races so far, but he made a mistake in the finals with Omet. I'm going to run out of oxygen. I'm going to run out of saliva, guys. I cannot look at the chat because I have to look these two races. Now, Roy Tattoo is turning off the headlights again, probably to gain some speed advantage. I also don't know, or maybe he wants to give a bit of a surprise to Omet because he knows that he can chase Omet in this section. I do not know how to say, guys. I do not know how to say this one, but so far, I'm really hoping for one more time here, but it seems that it is unlikely so because Roy is unable to close the gap between himself and Omet. Omet is running away. Omet is not making any mistakes. Omet so far is not making any mistake, but Roy Tattoo did, and because of that, he is losing a bit of his chance to chase Omet. Nice initial drifting or nice Scandinavian flick by Roy Tattoo there. Oh my gosh, guys. Don't stress out, Roy. Yeah, don't stress out, Roy. Don't stress out, guys. Hashtag Roy Tofu, guys. Hashtag Roy Tofu. Hashtag Roy Tofu. Give Roy Tattoo some encouragement here, guys. Omet is still not doing any mistakes. She is still keeping her lines clean, while Roy is still trying his best to chase Omet. But so far, Omet is keeping it clean and beautiful. No mistakes. Omet is the one that has not been doing any mistakes. Okay. Yeah, apparently she made a mistake. She gives a bit of the guardrail there, but that's not too much. That's not too much. Still is not going to affect the race because, ladies and gentlemen, I am running out of breath because Omet has gone through the final corner and she has won the first run. Congratulations to Omet. Congratulations. Good effort. Good effort by Roy there, but he has lost. But Omen has won the first round, people. Okay, Caster jangan sebut. I'm sorry. I cannot do anything about that. Okay. Yes. So guys, yes, the first run won by Omen. But guys, it's not over yet. It's not over yet. Because now we will have our second run with with Roy Tattoo being the lead, and Omet is the chaser. Waiting for the lights to turn green. Lights turn green, and here we go. Omet is being a bit slow on the launch there, giving a chance to Roy Tattoo to make a bit of a gap distance there. Roy Tattoo being a bit twitchy there, turn on his lights, going through the first corner, adding a bit of a gutter there. Wow, these two are really pushing it really close, guys. Really close. But Omet has already turned off her headlights. She already turned off her headlights, guys. She knows that it is time to attack. Okay. Oh, but that was a bit too slow by Omet. She's taking a bit too much of the inside, letting Roy Tattoo running away. But no, Omet is still keeping herself close to Roy Tattoo. Roy Tattoo made a mistake there, going a bit too much on the gutter, making his car a bit jumpy. Wow. This is a close race, guys. This is a close race. Wow, Roy showing a bit of his initial D drive there. I think he's trying to block Omet. I think he is trying to block Omet because I think he cannot see Omet at all. I think from Roy's perspective, he cannot see Omet at all in the rearview mirror. Hence, maybe the erratic movement to not give Omet any chance to overtake him. He is doing a Scandinavian flick all over the corners. I think he's not giving Omet any chance to take inside or the outside. Maybe that's why he's been doing the Scandinavian flick. But so far, Omet is still keeping it very close to Roy Tattoo. Will any of them make any mistakes here? So far, no. Omet doing a very wide drift there, but so far keeping it intact. Roy drifting it, connecting the drifts. Roy is definitely pushing the 86. He is drifting a lot. Roy is drifting a lot. I think Roy is just trying to cover up Omet. She is not giving Omet any chance to overtake. She's taking both lines. No, Roy made a mistake. Roy made a mistake. But Omet still not being able to overtake, or maybe Omet is giving a chance to Roy to keep this into a very interesting chase. Wow. Jangan tutup lampu, cannot see. You tell that to Omet. I cannot tell that to her. But so far, cue Rick Rose. Cue Rick Rose, people. But yes, so far, Roy is unable to shake Omet off. Roy is unable to shake Omet off, guys. Omet is still keeping herself close to Roy. Roy drifting through the corners. Roy is definitely showing a lot of. Okay, I do not know why, but so far, Roy has been making a lot of movements here. He has not shown these kinds of erratic movements from his other races, but with Omet, he's doing all sorts of movements. It's as if he is reacting to Omet's movements. Whoa! 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 Yeah, that is so. Oh, okay, that's. Roy did a drift there. Roy did a drift there. Maybe he wants to disorient Omet. What? No, Omet is taking the inside. Omet taking the inside of the line, overtaking a Roy Tattoo there. Beautiful. Roy Tattoo has drifted. Omet be like, you know what? You want to drift? Let's drift, baby. And then she did it. She did it. It's a drifting battle. It's a drifting battle in the finals, guys. Oh my gosh, what an absolute cinema movement by these two drivers. Omet is running away, turning off her lights, running away. Both of them are drifting. It's not drifting, but it's okay. It is okay. No worries. Will we be able to see more drifting movements or any erratic movements made by these two drivers? Whoa! Whoa! Oh, okay. Okay. Omen is reversing. Omen is reversing, doing a Jayton. Beautiful. 10-10. 10-10 reverse Jayton there. But yes, Roy Tattoo is definitely closing up to Omen there. Okay, I'm not sure how the jury will be, the admin will be responding to that after this. But it seems that Omen has given Roy Tattoo the chance to lead back again. It seems that Omen has given Roy Tattoo the chance to lead. I'm not sure why. Maybe he knows that the wind is in her back. But Roy Tattoo is responding it with a drift. Omen is responding with a drift as well. Both of them are drifting into the course, going to the second last corner. Will we have an initial D moment here? Who knows? Roy Tattoo drift. Oh no! Oh no! Omen has made a mistake! Omen has made a mistake! No, Roy made a mistake. Ya Allah! Roy, why did you make a mistake there? Right, why did you make a mistake there? You could have win. We could have it one more time. But no, why did you both of you made a mistake? It seems that they are drifting into the last finish line. And I think, ladies and gentlemen, what a battle. We have our winner for our HSM TOUGE Series 2.0. We have Omed, the winner for our HSM series, HSM TOUGE Series 2.0. What a battle! What a battle by these two drivers! What a battle! And Omed still holding on to the Queen of Toge. She is still holding on. All right, so guys, let's talk to Omed. All right, let's have a chit chat with Omed to see from her perspective. We have Omed in the line right now. Congratulations, Omed, for being again
Aw, thank you.
a TOGE series winner. You have won twice. You have won twice. You have won our Series 1.0 in Batangkali with an AE86, but now you did it again with an AE86. What a move. How do you feel, Omed? How do you feel?
I feel good.
You feel good?
I feel
Very
tired.
simple.
Dude.
Very simple, guys. All her answers are, I feel good. With a very calm
I mean,
tone, like,
I had a lot of fun driving against the other people here. You have some fast drivers.
Yeah, good job, Omet. Omet, can you tell us a bit? Can you tell us a bit? We do notice that between your battle in the earlier part just now, you were a bit erratic-ish. You can be seen using the gutter a bit more than usual, though. But in the final race, you were very, very calm. You were very, very calm and composed. Well, up until when you responded to Roy Tattoo's invitation to drift into the corner as well. Um, is there why a difference where in the earlier parts, in the earlier parts with other drivers, you were a bit, I would say, a bit erratic in terms of movements, but in terms of the
Oh,
finals,
no,
you
I
were a
have
bit
no idea.
calm.
I just drive.
You have no idea. You just drive. You have no idea. You just drive. But
Yeah, I mean,
still,
I thought the no headlights thing was pretty fun. So
yeah, okay,
it's a for fun event.
which goes to my second question, Omet. I always notice that in the first part, if you are the lead car, you will never close your headlights. But after that one high speed section, during the second section of Mount Akina, you're always turning off your headlights. It doesn't care if you're leading or chasing, but you're always turning off your headlights. Is there a reason why? Do you want to assert your dominance, or you're gonna be like, you know what, I feel better?
No, I just forget to turn it off.
You just forget to turn it. You just forget to turn it off. What an answer! What an answer by Omet there as well. So, well, Omet, you have won twice. Will you be able to win again in the third round? How would you feel if there's another race in the future? Will you be able
It's
to join again?
banned. Omet's
I'll
banned
join
from the
for the
third round.
funsies.
Omet's
But
banned.
people here are getting better, so
Hmm.
I think they will win.
All right. Then, if I may ask you, Omet, out of all the drivers that you have been racing tonight, who would you say would be your closest rival?
I think Brendan did pretty good,
Oh, Brandon, you gotta.
Brandon.
and
Brandon.
Cameron in the first sector.
No.
Did pretty good. I think
Wow.
most drivers in the first sector were like decent. But it all went downhill
Wow.
from there.
It all went downhill from there. You heard her, guys. Brendan got the seal of approval from Omet.
No,
Yes,
you all get my seal of approval. You all are pretty nice and wonderful and fast. So
wow. Wow. Omet is being very kind, very generous, giving the seal of approval to everyone. You get an approval. You get an approval. You get an approval. Everybody gets an approval. Well, guys, thank you very much, Omet, for your comment. We really appreciate it, and thank you to all the drivers that has been joining this race. To the drivers, to the viewers as well, even to HSM. Thank you for this opportunity. I really appreciate it. That is all for tonight with our winner, Omet. Second place goes to
yay.
second. Okay, second place go to Roy Tato, and third place goes to Brandon. All right. So that is all, guys. Oh yeah. That just for your information, we will not be ending it just like this. We will be having our HSM GT3 American tour starting on the 1st of July. Yes, starting 1st of July. That will be another whole set of races. I won't be commentating. I will be part of the driving as well. So hope that all of you can subscribe to the channel, follow the channel, and if you want to join in any of our races or join in our Discord group, feel free to join in. I think it is in the description or in the channel description as well. Please feel free to join. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we will close our HSM TOUGE Series 2.0 with a goodbye. Good night and goodbye, everyone. Bye bye.
Bye.